Hi guys, welcome to Lockdown Imbizo. My name is Apelele, and today we are discussing IFAT and SET. I think it's going to be a really interesting one. And yeah, let's go around the virtual table and see which is Hamba no Man.
Hey guys, Ketla, what's the boys? If I say in the meantime, impandla ipogile, marinjani.
Hayi injomane kaMgabhi le ngisakhona namanje umvuselelo umhlongo lo.
Unetha lona ufana kakhoza ufana uphuma ivuta all the way from Cape Town manje.
Thabiso lo reporting live from the other side of the table today. We're going to be discussing IFAT and SET. Sigesizwe ukuthi nithi kwenzakala.
Okay, so this topic because the reason why I am told to host this, is because I merely mentioned, oh, we're gonna talk about IFAT and SET. I've got a bit of information about that because I've been in a similar position. I've been in a similar position, and then also, oh, okay, good. So you learn a colleague, you are going to be hosting this thing. So I think it'll be interesting to actually find out what IFAT and SET is like for guys in particular, and like what your guys' thoughts about it. Should it happen? Should it not happen? Have you experienced it? And how was it? I'll start a bit with my experience of it. I hated it. I hated it. And this thing, IFAT and SET for me, it started gangan yabo. Where umuntu will leave, then the next thing umuntu is leaving shoes. Then the next thing I bought it's a full-on wardrobe, you know. And it was difficult because it was difficult because we were engaged, you know, and it was never guys. It was never an agreement. It was a thing of okay, I've moved into my own place. Umuntu uzokuvakashela, then the next thing umuntu akavai, you know. So it was like that for me, and yeah, I don't advocate for it personally. I think actually, and it cause issues, like it actually ended up not working out, I think. So in that aspect, I can say okay, it was great because it was a learning curve. Guys, what do you guys think?
Kodide awilamule lami. Awuboni mhlawumbe ukuthi engathi yakusiza ekutheni ubone umuntu ukuthi amakuthiwa ziyawushaya minyaka kuyagana impela ukuthi nizophilisana kanjani nomuntu.
To be quite honest, Mina, even before we moved in together, but I think obviously like certain steps, but for me it confirmed. So you don't want to find, it's an expensive exercise, like emotionally expensive exercise. It's time consuming. It's a lot of things that you can actually realize without living with someone. But it's just super duper highlighted. I think to be quite honest, it just wasted my damn time.
Oh, okay. No. Ngiyabonga. So yeah, no, lento ishoyo yazi ikabili. I think maybe to a certain extent ukuhlalisana nomuntu kuyakusiza ukuthi umuntu ukwazi ukumfunda ukuthi mase nindaweni izoba njani, yabo. Because le kamavakashelana lo 3 days uhamba usajabula. Umuntu akakamboni umuntu elambile ukuthi unjani, akakamboni umuntu ecasukile ukuthi unjani. Akakamboni umuntu ume restless noma enenkinga ukuthi uba njani. So to that extent ngasho ukuthi usizo ekutheni nifundane nomuntu, yabo. Kanti manivele nisuke nilobolana kuneba ama engagement kuyembeswana maniswa lapho seziyawushaya, and then 6 weeks later usuthi ayi lo muntu angimazi umuntu onjani, which boils back to our topic le lockdown sabana around gender based violence kancane ukuthi abantu bonke babevele bethi lo muntu enginaye angimazi umuntu onjani, yabo. Ababe violent as boyfriends and as girlfriends or boyfriends and boyfriends, none. So cultural, traditionally ngesintu, umkipito nje awubusisiwe, wrong. So mina ngikabili lapha ngiyibhack impela ukuthi understanding with times have changed and cultures evolved. Evolves. I honestly don't have a problem with it. Because at the end of the day, kuyakusiza ekutheni ungaze uyibophele nomuntu enzoba nenkinga naye in the long run. But at the same time, I think kumele ngabe kube ngathi uba ne-limited period yokuthi nizohlalisana isikhathi esingakanani enilokhu nifundana, because my personal opinion, which is one of the topics we're going to touch on, is that kungcono makuthiwa uhlalisene nomuntu oyingoduso yakho, at least umkhiphele inkomo akwazi khona, then ukhiphe isana nentombi, uvele uthole umfazi kadanke, umuntu ongakazi umjulukele, because there's that sense of pride onayo ukuthi yazi uthini unkosikazi wami lo, ngamlobola ngiyithukuthuku zami. So ngisho usuhleli naye umuntu, because certain things are expensive. So just to summarize, ungaze ngikante ngilokhu ngene ey'ntangeni ngiphuma, I honestly don't see a problem with it. But my condition is that at least kumele ngibe sengikhiphile iy'nkomo ezimbalwa, ngibe sengaziwa nasekhaya, uyabo. Akamkhipheli lutho. Unembeza ungangishaya insuku zonke noma ngeke ngiwaphindiselela umagama, but unganalokho ukuthi yabo ekhaya bazi ukuthi ingane yabo ihleli nami in case makunento eyenzakalayo ngiyothini, because isiko into engikhule siyigcina nami engithanda ukuyigcina. But ke impilo nokwenzeka ugcina usuyithola usuhleli nomuntu kuze kuphela unyaka, nakhona futhi angiyiboni inkinga if ekhaya ungakhuluma nabo be understand if kuyangokuthi banenkinga.
Okay. Abanye abantu bacabanga nibona kanjani?
For me, I so impilo ayina formula. So there is no formula that says if you do A and B, or if you start from A to B, then you're going to get to C. The reason I'm saying this is that whether umuntu mkhiphele inkomo nezohlala then uzozibona inkinga after that session line, and what do you do then? Calling inkomo says for me, then you are forced ukuthi uhlale nomuntu ongamazi umuntu onjani. At the same time, uhlale nomuntu 7 years edlule umuntu akazifezi, and then things happen. One game ashone, and then what? What rights do you have to izinto enisebenzele and nisebenzele no too? So how do you approach it? And I'm not getting into a solution mode, but what I would then say it works is where everything in Israel has to be intentional. There has to be goals. There has to be open communication. Why are we doing this? So ukuhlala no-two, it's a case of umahlethu two siyasave ekutheni ungabhatali rent nami ngibhatali rent ukuthi singahlala two sibhatali rent eyodwa sibeka le mali le kumele ngabe wona uyakhokha for rent to pay for ilobola one day. So everything eniyenzayo, it's part of the bigger plan. So sihlala two for 2 years sazi ukuthi we're working towards a certain goal. But if it's just nje ukuthi nihlale nje nichaza ukuthi nihlele, then it becomes a problem. So there's no formula, but you have to be intentional in terms of how you go about it. It has to have timelines, definitely. It can't be forever. As indoda, I think we've spoken about this. I think that should also be a definite no. But what I'm trying to say is that there has to be a plan and the reason why you're doing it the way you're doing it. But other than that, the whole thing about amasiko, and I think yonke into in is cut. And amasiko evolve with time. Yes, I understand that. Umuntu yamprekisa and then you still ubhadala ilobolo yonke into ibe right, or keep ulobolo umuntu apreke kube nengane. Yeah, but yonke into eniyenzayo it has communication as well as our timelines are very important. Good leadership.
Okay, I've got a quick question. Champi, you can answer, Mr. Pose. what is up with this thing? Okay, one, what if and there's no timeline and we just want to stay together because of the reasons we've mentioned, like we want to save money, we enjoy each other's company, as Shado, as but what are the issues there that you foresee? And the second question is, what is the issue with a man moving in with a woman? Because times have changed, like so, like for you, why is it a no? And why is it a thing? Like, does that take away like manhood? Like, what are the issues there?
Okay, so the first one that you've asked is around risk management as well as planning for the future and everything else. So as a person, at all times, you ought to do assessments, evaluation about your life. So if anything was to happen today, are you secured, my partner? So in other words, if would you have you claim to what we have largely, would you be able to be sustainable beyond our existence? So what does this thing mean? What does staying together mean? What does it mean? So you have to have that communication or a clarity to say, we're doing this for reasons 1, 2, and 3. So maybe on the issue of it's fine. I think I take back what I said earlier. As long as it's intentional, there is a goal that the two of you are working towards. Other than that, it just can't be ukuhlalisana. It's dangerous. Yes, legally, there is, I think, but if you no two for a period of, I think, longer than 7 years, automatically it's being regarded as COP. But the question is both of you aware of this? So what does this whole thing mean? So we need to be very careful. We can't just spill and just say, it's fine. So to young into it needs to be, everybody needs to understand. So you need to understand, I need to understand. We need to have a clarity and we need to hold each other accountable. If for 2 years, I need to ask you to say, Baba,
Okay.
because
Okay,
at the end of the day, remember, even in Lobolo, it has to be something that both of you are working towards.
Okay.
Quick, just a quick one. Would you conduct it's something that the both of you should be working towards?
Yeah.
So what I mean by that, Nishla and if in terms of financial management or managing your finances, you ought to be open with each other to say, listen, Mgami, you can take care of 1, 2, and 3 because I'm working on this goal. I'm not saying that I'll expect you to contribute to that, but we have to help each other. Otherwise, we'll also tola situations whereby, as a man, you end up borrowing money to go and pay for a low ball, and then now we are and then so what I'm saying is you have to have plans, you have goals, and those goals also need to speak to finances. It just can't be your own thing. Yes, the intention and to want to do it will come from you, and you have to want to do it, but it helps and it works effectively if you talk about it and you plan your finances around it. Yeah, that's my view.
Yeah, so basically what you're trying to say is that really, from a financial point of view, you prepare your partner sort of, these are my intentions, this is what I'm planning, and certain stuff you also prepare them, I will be able to do financially because I'm planning towards that. So maybe vacation this year, it's not going to happen because I'm still saving up towards that.
Absolutely. It's just that the topic today is not about finances, but if we're to talk about finances, I think Tina, we've got a big problem. Our partners don't know that we earn less, or they don't know that we earn this much, and we create this impression that we afford things, and that's why we have this problem that we're having. But I think for the sake of the topic today, we can move on from here to say what I'm trying to say is, as a man, you lead that topic, but you need to keep communications channels open.
Okay. How to look at guys? Kesha, you're alive.
I'm here. I'm listening. I'm with you. What are the guys saying? it's a hectic institution, if I can say it, you know. It's a whole thing. It's intense, and I think if we go into it with our eyes blind, not knowing what out of it, it's just limas. And I corner sometimes.
Okay, I mean, I'm gonna.
Let me be a jerk. Let me be a jerk for once. It's a trap for TNZ. A trap.
Ganjan.
Like nah, you know, just be honest, man. Because now you have to, you know, in a way, change the way you do things about living. Like now you can't come back to 4x saying, you know what I mean? The life has changed. More to Welama. Man. So, I don't know. I think really be mature enough about very mature about what you're doing about knowing what you want. And as well, actually, let's say in the time limit, how long we do this thing for one? Because if I not like a boss, people would know why you're doing this. It's pointless. Basically, that's my thing. It's a trap. Yeah, I'm glad. Yeah,
let me add my 2 cents here.
Yes.
And how I
The
see this.
king of Bikini.
Hi, Moen.
Why are you not hosting, Paul? How am I posting this one? King?
Hey, there's
How
no
is
such
it?
thing. Withdraw,
Okay.
Chief. Withdraw. Yeah.
I withdraw.
Okay, so my thing is that so with Imbizo, a lot of our topics, when we tackle them, we come from this position of saying we must evolve with the times and we must look at the culture and it has evolved and whatnot. And usually what happens when people stay together, like you mentioned earlier, Apelele, you don't plan, you don't ask each other. It's like you're together and you spend a lot of time at one's place for so long. And then you realize, no man, but the other place, we are paying rent for no reason, basically. Yeah, so why don't we just stay together? And then most of the times, people are far from their homes. And Cape Town or and then it makes sense. You convince yourselves, and sure, you're gonna save money because you don't do groceries twice. You don't spend electricity and water on 2 places. You don't pay rent for 2 places. You get a bigger place, and so on. Yeah, so that's the logical side of things. But with this topic, going back to this thing of saying evolving with the culture, this is one of those rare cases where I say culture is kind of strict here. It's wrong. You must not do it if you know what's good for you. And because I feel, and I'm not speaking from experience, by the way, I'm just it's my opinion. It's not based on any experience. I'm just so it's wrong because what I've noticed when I speak to most of my friends, most people that have done this thing that I know, they end up fighting terribly. There's a lot of things that happen when they fight, and then they end up even breaking up. Some people, a friend of mine, I was talking to him just last weekend, was telling me that he stayed with this girl for a year, and they decided just last 2 months before lockdown, just before lockdown, they should separate and she should find her own place. Because if they continue staying together, they were probably going to end up breaking up. Yeah, so, and I was talking to him, but how does it work? Why is it you always hear these cases when it's people that are doing fat and said, but when it's people that did the whole process of lobola and got married and whatnot, yes, they've got their fights and they've got their challenges, but it doesn't get that bad. So I'm just gonna come and say, because I'm someone who's very cultural and spiritual, especially in recent times. So I'll come at it from that point to say maybe some of these things are caused by the fact that you're doing something that is wrong. And the manje, because we're spiritual beings, stuff might be in Tigazisad. I can't go into more detail, but I hope you catch my drift. As well as if you're also someone who's religious, which I'm very religious as well. From a religious point of view, fat and set is also wrong. So you see the issue of fat and set when you look at both religion and culture. Then those things usually they conflict, they contradict. But when it comes to fat and set, they speak to the same thing.
Yes.
Yeah, guys.
Yes.
Just quick one before you carry on. We've got about 7 minutes left, so I think let's just try and wrap it up. So whatever points you want to raise, let's just try and consolidate.
I'll be quick. Yeah. Yes. What I like about the panel that we have is that it's all based on our own experiences. No one is right and no one is wrong. And what Thabiso is saying is tying back onto what I was also initially saying. But at the same time, I also agreed with Khoza to a certain extent with culture has evolved. So sometimes, like, I think at the end of the day, it all boils back down to your beliefs and what guides you. So if you are a traditional person and you pride yourself about being traditional, then you shouldn't take short corners just because it benefits you financially. Same as if a religious person.
I just want to add something there. Sometimes people think they know what guides them, and they haven't even found out yet. It's also that it's that huge. So you may think you're a traditional person, you do culture and whatnot, and then you find out in life that there's actually a certain path or journey that you need to take. So sometimes, life is no formula.
No, can see. So, like, based to summarize everything and how I view this, in Impilo fine, I'd say most of the things I do are traditional, but some of the traditional things I also apply common sense to it. So I'm just basically freestyling life in Japan, Impilo in a formula. So I think if morally, which is one of the topics I think we need to discuss, understanding what is morality. And that's a very philosophical question. If you feel and you're at peace with what you're doing, then go ahead and do it. Because you're not abusing anyone, you're not taking away from anyone, right? But if you feel like I'm unhappy because or my religion does not allow, I'm not at peace, then you're bound to fight and things are bound not to work out. Simple deal.
Okay. Thanks for that. Does anyone have closing remarks or anything else that they'd like to say about the topic?
I just want to build on to what Mvu said earlier. I would say the biggest challenge that we're facing now these days as especially Black people or just human beings is that you are split into different parts as a person. So there's Thabiso, who's the educated Thabiso, who can understand things from a logical point of view and will come and say, there's no formula, maybe we should do this, common sense and whatnot and whatnot. And then there's the Thabiso who's spiritual, then there's the Thabiso who's financial, there's the Thabiso who is emotional, mental and whatnot. So we are caught between those different aspects of our lives. And the aim is to try and balance and not go for one over the rest of the pieces. I don't know if I make sense. Maybe I'm sounding like Steve Compella today, but that's me. I'm done.
Yeah, guys. From me, because I started this off with some personal details. What I will say is, I think it's very important the stuff that you guys are saying, especially because you're mentioning what's in time frame, business case, you are just within, So I think it's very important. Yay, guys. So I think it's very important, and I think something how much now when I keep it the next time, when I keep it and then get guys for my tips, appreciate my tips. So I think it's important to actually have the time frame and the consolidated thinking, because I think the biggest thing is, as this discuss listening to, it's just a thing that happens, and then that's bigger with life. So I think it's very important to make sure you both have the same vision, the same thinking, and you both have the same reasons of wanting to get into this thing. Because if you're getting into this thing because you don't want to pay rent and this person's paying rent and the other person is fine, I think that's so cool. Yeah, but as long as number two, on why you are there and why you are doing it, I think it's fine. But for me personally, I'll pass. Actually, it's just not for me.
Don't do it. If you love the person, do the right thing. Don't do it. Don't do it.
baziyajulukela uyasevela imali inkomo
Yeah.
ayiphelele la umhlupha khona awubaleki first la nofuna indawo yami but
Yeah.
umukhipha
Fanele ujwayelana kabi.
phela manje
Go-
noma uhambe
Uba
Yeah, but
nokujwayeleka kabi nje uma ukhipha guys.
umtshela kathi uthatha uthini magodini ngicela uvele uphume straight because angikulobolile but le ngimjulukelile ngamsebenzela ngambekela isenti ipheko linye isenti ngasacrifice ngisho sixabane siyaresolve lento ukuthi yazi uthini ngcono sibonisane kanje
Ngidela uyivale lapho bathi isikhathi isivalile. Close it off.
Okay, guys. Okay, so thanks, guys. Thanks for your comments. I hope everyone's going to enjoy this video, and I hope it gives some insights. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Yeah, let's come together. Lockdown Imbizo. Thanks, guys. Bye.